Hi all, my name is Pin, and today I wanted to inspire some people to get the E25 because today is in shop for at $9.99. I think the cheapest it's ever come for, with all the equipment and fancy camo and whatnot. And if you do, here's what I prefer to run. I just say screw off HE. 20 mils of pen is not nearly enough, and I'd rather just load more high explosive anti-tank for any mouse tanks that I encounter in training rooms, and just kill guaranteeing. And for equipment, this is what I like to run. It's all personal preference, of course. You can do well with any sort of setup that you have, but I will now I'll just ramble over some replays. Why not? Two ace games that I had. We'll do a lower damage one first that I played more cautiously. Sure. While we wait here, I guess, for the teammates to load in, we'll go over pros and cons. Why not? So, pros of the tank. The camo rating is absolutely insane. It is, I'd say overall, it's about third in the whole game. That's just under the Electo and UE57. Even though this thing does have a really good while shooting camo rating, it's better than the Electos, but slightly worse than the UE57s. Just by one camo. And then your speed is really nice on the tank. It goes 65 kilometers per hour, so you can play it like a tank destroyer or a light tank, whichever you're going to do. And then the damage per minute, as you might notice, has a 3.2 second reload, which is awesome. That's absolutely incredible reload there. And for cons, the armor profile is terrible. It has 50 millimeters of armor on the front and 30 on the sides and rear. So if anyone gets your sides and rear, they're going DHing you. And even though 50 sounds like a very poor amount for the front, it does have this nice angle on the front, so you're not going to be super concerned about getting penned. And then the final con for the tank, in my opinion, is just the low alpha damage. It just it takes a little bit to grind into their HP, but whenever it does, that's great. And now to just be rambling on over a replay for seemingly no reason. We went to that sniping bush with our MX-13, and now we're just going to turn around because this is not a brawling tank, and I do not want to be spotted because this tank is made of paper and it has a very low HE amount. Or sorry, HP amount. Now you can see the camo here. Like, I haven't gotten spotted. Oh, there. Never mind. I should my mouth. I got spotted. Just trying to grind away at these guys while keeping myself hidden from that T-49. I did get lucky here. Someone just bounced onto the house there with their shell, which is kind of unlucky for them. And I do not like annihilators, so I'm just getting really greedy for damage here on the annihilator because I'm pretty sure there's no one over here who's gonna shoot me. And I did get lucky that the Tiger missed and that T-49 is running the stock gun, or not stock gun, but the 90 mil. If the T-49 was not running that 90 mil, that would have hurt really, really bad, and actually the outcome of the game would have changed. And I do make a lot of mistakes when I use the E25. I think it's just about fun for me with this tank, and generally I just play the game for fun. And also, again, tiny cockroach powers. No other tank could have avoided that shell like this. And good attention to minimap right there. If I didn't notice that annihilator coming on me, he could have used HE shells and it would have hurt. This is also the time that I ran 2 HE shells, which not a bad idea, right? It's really not, but I'd rather rarely use them every game, so I just kind of took them out. There's no point in having them. Now, I know all their tanks they're all on the right side, so I don't want to deal with that. First, I'm just gonna see if I can farm any damage on this T69. Oh, fun fact about the cockroach is if you can get really, really close, a lot of tanks can't hit you, especially if you're wiggling, because you're just at the perfect height. So all people have to shoot at is that tiny little hatch you have on the top of your tank. So if you wiggle, it's not gonna be easy for anyone to smack that, which is nice. And then also, the tank weighs a surprising amount. Like, Draculas and whatnot will try to ram you, and they won't do as much as they think they will. Instead, they're just lowering their HP so you can DPM them more. Because you weigh 25 tons. Which, wow. The tank is minuscule. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, since this tank does have decent view range at 253, and the chem rating is insane, you can play it like a light tank. You can outspot tier 8 lights. Surprisingly, I did not spot this man, but I am going to outspot this tiger here. And at about 200 meters, I'm able to shoot this tiger over and over, somehow getting away with it. Also, here's the accuracy on the gun. Look at this. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful stuff. So that's just 2,400 damage. And out there, now it's just going to be a race for the final kill. Which, these are always fun, right? You gotta love a little hustle at the end. And I thought I made a big mistake here, not going around to the left side. I went right for some reason. I still pulled it off somehow. I got really... I don't know how I did that, but it was worth it. It was good. I was surprised to see that was an ace, because I didn't spot really anything that game. There was no assist that I got. Maybe I did go for tracks because it's Confederate. I always try to in the E25. That's a good tip. Always try to play for those tracks when you're playing E25. That's a good thing to do. And here's a different game. Another ace game. It's a bit higher damage, but the tank, I played it entirely different. And it just shows how versatile and resilient the tank is sometimes. Why they call it a cockroach, because I did so many dumb things this game. And I still got away with it. So I was signaling for my team right there to go to the left side with me. And oh boy, I thought it was going to be one of those games. Because now our LTTB is going down. I was like, oh no. All our heavies are going to turn around and we're screwed. I was thinking we were done for this game until everybody started turning around. I see them all on the minimap coming up the hill again. I was like, oh, thank the Lord. There's a lot less chance of losing this now. This smasher, this is the tank at tier 7 that will bully a smasher, which is awesome. I've already put 600 damage into a smasher. Now, with when you put the rammer on and then have adrenaline, 2.7 second reloads is insane. And also this LTDB, oh my goodness. He's been a hindrance to our team the entire game so far. Now, here's what I mean. I'm right up next to him and he can't hit me. And I'm just gonna get that track. Now I'm gonna actually start aiming because, you know, somehow that one bounced. And he can't move, and he can't hit me. That's what I love about this thing. And now we're gonna start doing something stupid. We're gonna start YOLOing in an E25. Okay. Questionable decision, but you go. Yeah, just totally distracting this guy. I don't know what that shot was, really poor of me. I wanted to go for the SU. I don't want to try to... That shot was something else. And one bounce somehow, and then a miss. Somehow he bounces me again. We already went over the armor profile. 50, 30, 30 is horrible. Why it took me so long to shoot here is I wanted to aim in, be sure that I was going to kill him. I wouldn't recommend doing that kind of stuff, really, because I did drop some of my HP. Right, it's no good. Unfortunately, right there. I see a Hellcat. This is E25 food. Like, oh man, I love finding Hellcats. Whenever an E25, because this thing, it weighs more than a VK-2801 if I am correct. And it's already a joy to ram Hellcats with that thing. Also, that miss never happened. You didn't see it. Anyway, that was an entire Hellcat gone in a matter of seconds. Now, this is the part of this game that just kind of... It made me chuckle, because I got to do this twice this game, which, I don't know, I've been frontlining an E25 the entire game, which is amazing to me. The enemy team is kind of stupid though, so it's, yeah, I wouldn't recommend anyone do this. And he trapped himself in a corner. It's not like the side hug and he can't go anywhere. And, oh boy, he barely missed that one. Oh, just grinding his HP down. He missed again. Oh boy, that was just exciting, really fun stuff right there. Okay, so there's the two ways you can play an E25. I wouldn't recommend the last way. It's kind of completely luck dependent on whether you're gonna survive or not. So definitely I'd go mid-long range normally with this tank. I wouldn't ever try to get spotted. If you are spotted, immediately back out from the situation that you're in. There's been a few games on, like, Canal is a great example, Port Bay, not Canal. If you cross on the medium side over across the river, right, you can keep poking your nose above the little ridge in the far corner where the mediums usually sit, and you won't get spotted. But you can take one shot, back up, wait 9.3 seconds until your camera rating is reset again, and keep repeating that process, and you can rack up a lot of damage. And it's going to take a little bit, but that is something this tank is really good at. And you can find a lot of those kind of positions on almost every map in the game where you can sit there and get a few shots off before being spotted, and then just repeat the process, and you slowly just grind up damage like that. Although if you do see a smasher, I think it might honestly be worth taking the risk just to side hug him, because that's hilarious to take out a smasher in a tiny little cockroach tank. Anyway, I just wanted to show these two games, maybe inspire some people to buy the E25 bundle, because I'm really happy to see the tanks back and for such a cheap price.